Uh,
On Discord.
I just
Yeah, I'm watching it on Discord. Where are you streaming it?
We're streaming it to YouTube.
Oh, okay. Send me a link to the YouTube. So Brant and I, because if I'm not watching Brant's stream, I'll be on a delay.
yeah. Well, you'll be watching it
No, the
live through
Discord does not
Discord,
delay.
but we're talking about like the stream, the audience.
Oh, are you and
Watches.
I going to be watching the Discord stream?
Yes, yeah, you will be with me
right,
and then
yeah.
commentating because then you'll have a delay otherwise. So right now you don't have a delay.
Okay. Yeah, I guess if we were watching the Discord stream, we'd have to mute it, so we didn't get both. Why am I not getting any? I'm not getting any audio from the track.
Because I can. I'm just sharing my screen. I can share it. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Obi, are you seeing the actual stream?
Stream is live.
Okay, are we talking right now to everyone? To the world, to all the fans, great fans, best fans.
Producer.
Mr. Producer.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mr.
you're the producer. Are we live right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Is Dick Kona's audio going through?
Let me see.
I'm gonna add.
Test. Rubber baby bunky bumpers. The quality is terrible. The stream quality.
It is, yeah. Alright, I have to go, guys. I have a race to participate in.
Okay. All right.
Good luck.
Thank you for this. Remember, if you see someone retire, send them a message and then drag them in if they will.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we get to watch this on your ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to welcome everybody here to the Revival Racing League 1951 Formula One season. I'm here with Brant. How you doing, Brant?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dick Costa?
It's Dick Kona, but we all make that mistake.
Well, we are here today at the.
Grim Garden.
Yes, Brim Garden for the first race of the 1951 season here in Switzerland. We see there Perilla has spun out in the Alfa Romeo. However, I'm sure that the country of Switzerland will, of course, make no overbearing laws on auto racing anytime in the future, especially after this great spectacle of a race we're getting here today.
I don't know enough about Switzerland law to dispute that.
Yes, it's a beautiful country in the mountains. Here we have a beautiful track going through small little villages throughout the countryside of Switzerland. Great turnout today, lots of fans. There must be a sale at the local jeans and cheap blazer store because that appears to be what everyone is sporting. Everyone here is fashionable, dapper. They hit up the local haberdasheries. They look absolutely stunning.
To be honest with you, just from a technical standpoint, I can't really make out who's in first right now. It's just too.
We watched just one Alfa Romeo spin out. Just in practice, open practice here today. 2.5 more minutes of open practice. We got beautiful weather here today. A lovely spritz of some very fine.
I like that word, Brant. Is spritz? Is that a word that was around in 1951?
Spritz? I think so. I think the Beatles brought it into fruition. There we see the Alfa Romeo 158, 300 horsepower, just pure Italian pride going on right there.
Well, let's go over the cars, actually, Brant. We've got today, we've got the Ferrari 125. That's a 1.5 liter supercharged V12. For this race, they are going to be 257 horsepower. It's a 5-speed manual that weighs 785 kilograms. In my notes here, it says it is very oversteery, requires some throttle mastery, and it was designed by Enzo Ferrari himself.
Yes,
Of course, in real life, he never had a computer, and it won the Drivers' and Teams Championship in the 1950 Revival Racing League season.
yes, and we also have it again from Ferrari, the Ferrari 375, a 4.5 liter naturally aspirated V12, producing 242 horsepower at 7,000 RPM. With a 4-speed manual, and it weighs 870 kilograms. It has quite twitchy amounts of grip. It's rather oversteery and requires quite a bit of commitment. Best at tight tracks. It really seems to struggle in power circuits, especially considering how it weighs so much. I find that a little strange, but you know, the Italians quite wonderful.
A lot of pasta.
A lot of pasta here today.
Then we've got the Alfa Romeo 158. It is a 1.5 liter supercharged inline 8. It makes 300 horsepower at 8,000 RPM. It's 4-speed manual, 785 kilograms. Sensitive light, just like myself, oversteery and sketchy, a lot like myself, and it won the driver's title back in both 1950 and 51 real life seasons.
And we also have the Talbot Lago T26C as a 4.5 liter naturally aspirated straight 6, 292 horsepower at 5,000 RPM. Has a 4-speed pre-selector, and it weighs 880 kilograms. It's quite understeery according to the drivers, but yet torquey. It's awkward in slow corners, which I predict is going to do quite well here today at Biergarten with these large sweeping corners. We see there a poor Ferrari of Tolonen going into the wall. Hope everyone is all right.
The funny thing about that Tabalago, Brant, it's actually the two-seater, the Tabalago. The funny thing about that is a two-seater version of this car. It won the 1950 24 Hours of Le Mans, and the weird thing about it was there was only one driver. The French just like to be weird. What I'm being told by the producer, that's incorrect. I'm sorry about that. So we've got the final car here, Brant, is the BRM Type 15, and it is a 1.5 liter supercharged V16 with 316 horsepower at 11,900 RPM. It's a 5-speed manual, 820 kilograms. Oof. The characteristics are it's understeery. It's compliant, very worry-free, and the engine's very peaky. And it only raced one official F1 race, but it was said that they got it running at upwards to 600 horsepower at 14,000 RPM in real life, and it symbolizes the peak first force-inducted era of F1 racing. Of course, these horsepowers have been balanced for the Revival Racing League season, track by track, to make sure that the racing is competitive.
Yes, right now we are just watching a short intro before we get into qualifying. All right, and we are just waiting to start qualifying here for the Switzerland Grand Prix of 1951.
Great to be here with you, Brant.
Yes, it's good to be with you as well, Dick. We have 12 wonderful drivers here tonight to battle it out for the first potential points of the season.
I couldn't be more excited. Last season was so good. This season can only be better. A lot of skill up and down this grid, Brent.
Of course, yes. One of the most skilled drivers, in my opinion, is Costa of number 7 in the Ferrari 125.
Very good driver. Won last year.
Yes, won the 1951 tribute.
50,
yeah, 1950. Won the 1950 championship. However, he did win last year. No, I'm sorry. Apologies. Last week's tribute race over in Asia at Macau. We are riding along here with Costa.
And his teammate is Pedro Lopes, if my pronunciation is correct, and they are from Algarve Motorsports. Of course, Algarve, the home of tequila. Wait, I'm being told by the producer that's agave. Algarve apparently is a place in Portugal. They are driving the Ferrari 125.
Here we see Boris of the, I think that's the Talbot. How do you pronounce that?
Talbot.
That English? Talbot.
Talbot, I'm pretty
Talbot.
sure. Then again, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not
I
European.
think it's Talbolago.
Tabalago. Yes, and then we see the Ferrari 125 of Pedro. Beautiful car, stunning. Number 69 in the black and gold livery, representing Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Black and gold, baby.
Nice. Also from the famous rap song Black and Yellow.
Yes.
Classic.
Yes.
Now we have Tyrannos Alvaro. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce that. They're with his teammate Korea. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce that. Or with Scuderia Atlantica. And they are in the Alfa Romeo 158. Tyrannos is from Portugal. And Korea is from Argentina. I don't know if you saw it earlier, Brent, but Lionel Messi played his first game with Inter Miami today. And won the game with a free kick.
That's fantastic for him. Miami, beautiful
And
city.
therefore,
Fantastic.
the world.
Yes, and therefore the world. Win for Mesa is a win for the world, and a win for America, of course.
Of course.
Because America is my world, baby. All right.
It looks like we are...
Costa set the first lap of qualifying with a 2:48.809. Let's go to Anton, who will most likely set the second lap. A little bit of oversteer caught from him. Riding along with him now, a sweeping right-hander coming up just before the start-finish straight.
Well, Anton, of course, is on... and I'm probably going to butcher this team name if we're lucky. Ernst X.
All right, and
Antil.
a 3:18 and a 3:24. Costa is just absolutely on another level, almost a minute ahead of third place here at Switzerland. Let's see, Josh Brooks in the Ferrari 125 about to cross the line and does not set a time, it appears. Might be on his outlap. Pedro set a 348, and Obi Xiao set a 348.998, putting him in 4th place. Now, Costa is just seems to be just absolutely in tune with that Ferrari 125. I'm really excited to see how he handles the start of the race. As Enzo in the Alfa Romeo sets a 408. The Alfa Romeo, of course, is one of my fan favorites. One of the most beautiful cars we have on the grid, in my opinion.
I can't disagree with you, Brant. Gorgeous car.
Yes. Gorgeous car for a gorgeous country. However, the weather is not so gorgeous. Oh, as Costa goes into the
Shadow
brush
realm.
and the shadow realm, and hits a fence. Appears to have
Might have hit a moose.
returned.
Are there moose in
moose?
Switzerland?
I think they have.
Cows?
Yeah, I think they just have cows. I don't think moose evolved for such a friendly landscape, as opposed to the bitter harshness of Canada. I'm sure they have mountain goats, of course, in Switzerland, though, and those are basically just mooses that went to the school of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Let's see, we got Anton here. Anton is, of course, part of the Erst X team.
Yes.
They are driving the Ferrari 375, and as we mentioned, that one is it's really good at tight tracks. It's really good at tight tracks. It requires some commitment. But
and Anton sets a 239.8, almost 10 seconds faster than Costa in the Alfa Romeo 125. Anton is so
he's on it today.
Yes, he is on it. He's inebriated with such a wonderful lap time. He needs to pull over and collect himself. Costa, of course, I'm sure will not take that laying down and is set out to improve on his banker lap. And Josh Brooks and Mark both outpace Costa. I thought the pace for today was going to be around 3 minutes, but no, Costa has dropped down the field in qualifying, now down to 6th place.
Incredible driving out there, Brent.
Yes. And it appears that Costa is just now doing his out lap. Only 2 drivers have yet to set a qualifying lap time. Perilla in the Alfa Romeo and Red T in, once again, the Alfa Romeo. And
Was working through some technical details.
Yes, and through that time, we've had every driver on the grid place their own qualifying lap time today. With Red T in the Alfa Romeo setting a 7:56.7. Definitely not his ideal race pace.
Joao Herrera.
Wow,
2:38.9.
2:38.9. That's absolutely impressive. Costa sadly still has not corrected his provisional pole. There's no doubt in my mind, though, that he will believe that he'll take back his rightful spot at the top of the grid once again. Hopefully, taking the championship.
I wouldn't bet against him.
No,
times are pretty close for such a long track
Yes.
here in the top.
And yes. Yes. And Costa, of course, sets a new provisional pole of a 2:36.559 to, yes, almost 3 seconds ahead of Zhao. Yes. Anton correcting some oversteer there on his car, aptly named Le Egg. And now this track was first used in 1931 for motorcycle racing, with the first Swiss Grand Prix taking place in 1934, and has been held annually thereafter. Originally dominated by the Silver Arrows. Hans stuck winning the first GP in an auto union now known as Audi Auto Group. The famous Marquique would win again in 1936 with Bert Rosemeyer. And I wish, yes. 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 And Anton in Le Egg goes up to P2 with a 2:38.64. Wow. Yes, yes. Whilst Red T brings his time down to a 3:52.52. Yes. 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 And there we are on board with Anton, going through into a heavy braking zone. Heavy on the brakes, downshift into third gear and pull it out. Use all of the track, a little bit too much Anton did, but thankfully corrects it and avoids the wall. And here we have Mark and Red T getting into a bit of a traffic jam. Ooh, and Obi goes into the fence. Ow. Apologies.
Got an incredible battle.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh, a little bit of traffic here for Perilla. As the type type 15 Venzo navigates through the traffic. Red T off on his own. Salvaro once again. Yes, a large battle for P10 right now, as Enzio places at 259.5. Red T now the only driver over the 3-minute mark by 0.04 of a second. As Costa goes out for his outlap, refueling his car. 13 minutes left of qualifying here. I'm sure he is not done with the lap times yet. Yeah, says the water is definitely not clearing up. Looks like it's gonna rain for the whole session here today. Steady rain in these tiny little cars with these skinny little tires. As compared to modern F1, these skinny tires are a better aid than the wide aspect ratio tires that we have in modern day F1. Helps cut through the water. You're less likely to aquaplane, of course. You got radial tires still, and they give out more very little notice. You'd really wish that they would be professional and give you a bit of a 2-week notice before they lose grip, but yes, yeah. Correct. Isaac Newton was not the well-known author he is today, I'm sure. As Josh Brooks battles with Salvaro just ever so shortly before going into what looks like Frost House, the last real breaking corner up into the start-finish straight. Let's check in with Costa. I'm sure about to set a absolute banger of a lap. Yes. He spent a very short amount of time filling up his tank as Vesa Tolan goes across the line and does not improve on his time. Yes. As Zhao comes to a very slow corner. I think Frosthouse might come across the line here soon. Correct. Mm. Yes. I don't see him either. Um, hmm. Yes, I did a little bit of practice last week at the tribute race in Macau. Uh, Alone, but went well, I find. And it looks like Costa is about to finish up his first lap, going through Frost House right now, controlling the oversteer, using all of the track, taking it up right to the curbs, but yet avoiding the curbs. Coming on in to the start finish straight of Battle How and does a 2:35.1 and slightly loses control. Yes. The world has. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it looks like Alex Senna, is about to set his first lap of the race in the Ferrari 375. Mm-hmm. Josh Brooks of England in the Ferrari 125. If I'm not mistaken, yes. Yes. No. But, it looks like Tolerlin has set a quick lap, bringing him up into P5. Correct. Mm-hmm. Josh just loses it. Safely lands. As Mark comes up behind on this incident, hopefully the stewards are able to warn him in time. The yellow flags. Ooh, takes a great line into Trigonaut and goes on up down the road towards Frosthouse. It kind of looks like all the drivers have had a adequate amount of time to set their laps, with the exception of Alex Senna. Yes, of course, named after the famous McLaren hypercar, and nothing else. No other person of significance. Just what a fantastic car with the glass in the doors, like the Bronco. Hopefully he's able to set a good lap and get up towards the middle of the pack on the starting grid. No. Yes, I'm quite sure. And Alex Senna goes into Frost Garden now. A tight right-hander, the slowest corner here on the first gear, trying to get as much power down, but of course in these slippery conditions on this cobblestone road, it can be quite the challenge. A bit of black blowback from the exhaust. Mm-hmm. Yes, I don't think he'll be able to get across the line again in this outlap to make another flying lap, even after the checkered. Looks like everyone in the pits right now is happy with their time. Mark, Josh, Perilla, and Red T all going around the course as we speak. Yes. Of course. Mm-hmm. As Anton goes through Tenny up into Wolfenstrap. Yes, yes. Before going downhill slightly, Josh Brooks crosses the line, does not improve on his time. 0.02 of a second behind. Mark on his outlap into Frosthouse gets the power down right behind Mr. Red T of the Alfa Romeo. They might be looking to set one more lap time, but we don't know. As Mark overtakes, Red T sets a 2:41.2, not improving on his lap time. Anton sets a 2:41.9. He is built different. That is for sure. As he goes into Frost Up, locks up with that Logitech controller. He seems to have great control, but it appears maybe having a little bit of a pedal box might help. You don't control a submarine with a controller, nor do you do a 51 F1 car. Coming up to the line and improves on his time ever so slightly, but still remains in second place. Oh, Enzo. Oh, Enzo. My apologies. Mm-hmm. Mm. Ooh, as Josh Brooks spins out going across the line in front of the pits, but thankfully catches it on the cobblestone. Here we see Mark going through Frost House. Once again, a famous corner here in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. And here we have our grid. Costa in pole position with a 2:35. 3 seconds ahead of Antoine in the Ferrari 375 with a 2:38. Behind that on the second row, Zhao with a 2:38.9. And next to him is Mark with a 2:39.5. Behind that in the third row is Josh Brooks, alongside Tolonen, in front of Pedro, Perilla, Salavaro, Enzo, Red T, and Alex Senna. In that order, line up the grid. All 12 drivers ready to start. Absolutely. As we head into the start of the race. Yes, me as well. Yes, we have 12 wonderful drivers from across the world, mostly Europe, here today, making up the inaugural Swiss Grand Prix here at Bremgarten. Wonderful track here today, Bremgarten. Multiple corners, multiple straights, a long sweeping track, very much a momentum-based track. As we start off the race here today. With Costa, and we're off for the first lap of the Swiss Grand Prix. Yes, Costa got away well. Zhao going up into second place, with Mark dropping down into third. Absolutely. Antoine appears to have some technical difficulties on the start, and Mark goes into the wall. Absolutely. Josh 3 wide, it appears, before breaking off down back into a single filed line. Absolutely. As Josh Brooks goes up into fourth, Costa once again still in the lead. As Josh Brooks gets some oversteer into Frost House, but catches it well somewhat and stays behind Mr. Pedro. As Costa crosses the line for the second lap of the Swiss Grand Prix. Yes. So close. Yes, almost touching. Ooh. Red T and Zhao is in second place. As we watch Alex and Red T battle for P9. Close to close racing now. Overlapping as we get Lance strolled by AutoCam, which I can't control. Yeah, they just invented cameras back here in 1951. No, they did not. Yes, I do know that, Dick. As we see Josh and Pedro battle for a spot on the podium. Josh goes on the outside, heading uphill. Yeah. Pedro holds on to it once again for another day as Mark is looking up. He's looking down at this battle for a podium and wants to have a bit of banter with Josh Brooks, of course, from England. As it sounds like Tolonen of the Ferrari, yes, 375 comes up sniffing on that rear bumper. A 5-car battle for P3, it looks like. Absolutely. Even with that naturally aspirated V12, there's just not enough power compared to the supercharged engine of the 125. As Josh and Pedro battle going into Frost House, Josh takes a traditional line through the course as Perilla and Tolonen do a switcheroo. Almost gets a run on Tolonen, but Tolonen holds on once again for another lap, going into lap 3, led by Costa, of course, in the Ferrari 125. No, it does not appear to be that way. 7.6 seconds behind Zhao is from P1, as Mark uses all of the track and then some, going down through the mill dip, little dip by the mill, going right on up to a tight right-hander, Irmat, of course, Ovalentine, as Savaro spins out in Mill Hill, going on down and gets overtaken by Perella for 8th place, and gets overtaken once again by Alex Senna in the Ferrari 175, and taken a spot once again from Red T. I'm sure Savaro has quite a bit of restrictor damage now, as Senna goes into a small wall, as Pedro goes into a fence. There's a lot of bumper cars happening right now here. Antoine appears to have a 25% power reduction from a previous accident. Yes. That it is indeed. Absolutely. Tight right-handed down into second gear. Third. Riding on board. You could see the amount of steering input these cars require. As Zhao in second place, going through Frost House up towards the start-finish stretch, as it appears. You could see the absolute spray from the top of the cars on the wheels. Oh, and it looks like... Yes. As Pedro spins off on the exit of Frost House. Yeah, so 12 seconds and 8 hundredths. As Pedro bumps into the rear of Perala, a tough break for the rookie in the Alfa Romeo 125. Seems to avoids a large amount of damage and still is able to battle. Ooh. I know, especially in this weather. as Tolonen lets them by. Mm-hmm. Yes. 4 laps into the Swiss Grand Prix. It looks like Costa did a 8:03. Might have gone into the pits. I'm not sure. No. That's just combined. Apologies. Math's hard. Yeah. Absolutely. As Josh Brooks of England goes up into the podium past absolutely.
Finland, a great racing country, also known for the F1 racing legend Heikki Kovalainen.
Heikki Kovalainen.
Kovalainen.
Kovalainen. I don't have the accent for that. Just 2 Yanks over here across the pond in great old US of A, where the beer is cheap and the gas is even cheaper.
And the women are pretty cheap. Of course, no offense to any American women watching this broadcast right now.
Of course. Savaro goes across the line in the Alfa Romeo for his 5th lap, as Pedro in 6th place of the Ferrari 125 shortly follows.
Costa and Joao kind of in a world of their own. Josh Brooks just holding on. Marzo in 4th. Looks like Boris showed up here. Now, like I said, I'm new to this broadcasting, but does this mean that Anton is back and has done 1 lap? Or Boris is here and has done 3 laps? I'm not quite sure. You'll have to help me out.
I think Antoine is 1 lap behind the leader, and Boris is 3 laps behind.
Okay. I guess there was some confusion there at the beginning. I thought Anton had been disqualified at the start. Still new at this, Brent.
Me as well.
Oh, I believe I figured it out.
It appears so. Yes, 1 lap down. Yeah, Enzo is 1 lap down. Antoine, I assume it's from the 10 drivers on the same lap of our race leader Costa, of course, in the Ferrari 125. Yes. I don't mean to brag, but I did just do a 2 hour and 45-minute long stint at the iRacing 24 Hours of Spa today in VR. So it's quite doable. You just need to have a good... Ooh, as Mark just barely avoids the shed, clipping the shed with his left front wheel. Oh, yeah, it's thankfully... It does indeed, as we watch Mark in his Talbot, of course marked with Erika? I don't know. She looks... Yes, it is absolutely... No. Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Of course, Marzo really putting pressure on Josh. If he makes a mistake, that's third place. Look at the wheel work it takes to keep that car on the road.
As it looks like Zhao has some engine problems. Maybe he's in neutral, pulling off to the side of the road.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate for the driver in second place of the Swiss Grand Prix.
Oh, look at the battle here.
Almost three wide, as Erika in the of Mark's car. Perala taking evasive action from
had a moment there.
almost colliding. These cars absolutely dangerous, but they keep a stoic posture in their cars. Just no emotion at all whatsoever. They are unfazed by the dangers and trials by fire that they face in these cars.
You're right, Bern. I've been watching the expressions of these drivers during this race so far, and none of them seem to have been affected at all by the emotions of the race.
Of course, there is our race leader, Costa, locking up almost, but holds on well. I'm not too... I'm just not knowledgeable. Like, there he goes through Mill Road. Not knowledgeable with how he's able to hold on to such... Oh, as Pedro crashes off, breaking his wheel. Absolutely. A huge amount of damage, I'm sure.
It's still running, Brant. It's still running. He's
Yes.
still in this.
I'm sure with
We'll
his
have some restrictor penalties, but
yes,
Still
25%
in it.
restricted penalty for an accident, which is going to hurt him for quite a while as Perella and Mark battle across the line.
I was just told by the team that Joao is open for an interview. We're not sure what happened there in the BRM, but it didn't seem ideal. Joao, are you with us?
Yeah, I am. Well, that was disappointing.
What happened down there?
So I went into that corner. I'm not sure what the number is. It's in the first part of the track. I braked, downshift, didn't notice that the gear didn't go in, and I went straight, hit the wall, restricted, which didn't kill my race, but the fact that the gear was grinding the whole time put my gearbox in the deep red when I fixed it, and then like 2 corners later I messed up the gear shaft again, and it was literally a frame between that and the gearbox brake because it was already deep red. So that was my race. I was in second. I could have gotten a podium, and one small mistake and I'm out.
Well, the good thing about using a manual in these cars is it's the most realistic way to drive them, but unfortunately it makes errors like that much more common.
Yeah, it's. I think the car maybe is a bit too sensitive because that was my first mistake of the race and it put me on. It might need some tweaking. Maybe I'm gonna tell the guys to work on the gearbox because it's too sensitive. It's probably because it's British. Let's face it.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
What were you seeing down there that we might not have seen here in the broadcast booth?
So this is looking like a 2-stop race. I was really having a lonely race. Everyone behind me was slower than me. Costa is faster than me, so I was like deep in the land of nowhere.
It looked
That's
like Josh was holding on to about a 10-second gap with
See-
you for a while.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
he was
which,
catching me.
Josh spun out going
Oh.
into Frost Garden for a 25%. Yes, with a 25% restricted plate in P2. I'm sure he's really kicking himself about taking a bit of a let's call it hopeful breaking point into Frost House. But
Red Tea. Let's talk about Red Tea for a second. Red Tea started at the back and been having a really, really consistent race. Already up into 9th. Just showing that sometimes raw pace isn't as important as being consistent, keeping it clean.
Oh yeah, in these cars you really, as I showed, pace doesn't mean anything if you can get to the end.
If you'll excuse me, guys, for just a moment, I'll be right back.
all right.
So, what? Well, I was racing, so I didn't see any action. Any good battles out there?
There was a couple good battles with Pedro, Senna, and Savaro going on. It appears Savaro has dropped it back to battle with Red T for 8th position.
Yeah.
I think it's on the left here. Usually shows. Okay, Dick. Appears Mark has gone up into third place. Yes, as Perala follows. I don't think either of them have any restricted plates. Mark has a 25% restricted plate as well as Josh, but Costa is going on. Oh. Looks like Senna has sadly crashed in Frost Garden with a 25% restricted plate now on his Ferrari 375. Yes, hopefully he's able to hold on to it strong as Red T follows, passing Savaro with a 125 restricted plate. I wonder what happened with Savaro. Boris, 3 laps down, follows with a 0 restricted plate. Absolutely wonderful driving, using all of the track and then some as he drives through the Swiss Alps here. With a late entry, Boris. Oh, as Pedro spins out once again, giving himself a 25-50 restricted plate penalty. Yes, that is correct. A test driver of yes. Boris? Yes, with Lena on this side. Yes. It looks like Josh Brooks is going into the pits. It looks like it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's Perala. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, as Josh Brooks spins. Yeah, he now has a 75%, a 75 restricted plate penalty on his car. Yes, Josh, on lap 13. Oh, and it appears Costa has a 25 restricted plate. Yes. Perala. I'm sorry, Salarva for 125. It's I'm too much of a yank. I can't pronounce that. Yes, Vesa with 0 restricted plate. Oh, it looks like Vesa went into the wall. Yes. 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 My bet right now, my money, might be on. I mean, Costa just definitely has the raw skill, but that restricted plate might hurt him in the long run. Whereas Perala does it now. Might be, yes. That. Huh. Whoa. Hmm. As Senna controls the oversteer. Catches it well, keeps it out of the fence, coming on down, I think, towards mill dip. No. Hits a wall just ever so slightly. Gets another restricted plate damage. He might be, yeah. Oh, as Red T in the Alfa Romeo goes into the woods. Oh. Okay, understandable. Spawn. Ooh. That's just a war of attrition now. Just only 9 drivers remaining out. Just now. Coming in 9th place. Looks like he'll probably get... Senna is sadly no longer running. I think he DNF'd after that small conversation with the wall. Yeah. That's... Speaking of Pedro leaving the pits now in P5, 1 lap behind Costa on the 15th lap in his Ferrari 125. Going on down now towards Mill Run. Uses all of the track and then some. Gets as close as he can to the gutter into the heavy braking zone as Mark crosses the start-finish line shortly behind P2. He's on the podium. He's looking to gain some more real estate. As it looks like he tapped the wall. I'm not sure. He has 25 restricted plate penalty, but I don't know. Yeah, that might have been from a previous altercation. Yeah. Yes, especially two jokers like ourselves. Oh. He's hanging on, sliding as Costa comes in for a pit stop. Pirella in P2 might be able to bring it on up into P1. When it looks like Red T might be having some engine problems. in his Alfa Romeo. Not unlike. No, it's a common problem with these Alfa Romeos. Stylish, but unreliable. Like yours truly. It looks like Mark has spun. Yes, of course. Yes. Hello. Yes. Yes. Hello. Mm. Now, were you able to make any pit stops at all before your retirement, or? Ah.
Had to intervene.
Oh. I hear him fine on my end.
Might be an OBS issue.
Yeah, I was hearing him myself.
Do you hear everyone except me?
Oh, I hear
we
you.
can hear you. But
We have Red T
Yeah.
who wants to hop in here with
Yeah,
us.
but I'm
in the
saying
booth.
in the broadcast, is everyone being here except me?
I think that's what's being alleged, but I see you're coming up on the audio mixer.
Okay,
I'd like to invite,
I'm using the push to talk, and
I can hear you fine in the
Yeah, I can hear
background.
you fine. Everything's working fine. I'm going to bring in Red T here for an interview. It's,
okay.
Red, are you with us?
Yes, hello.
Hello,
What
welcome.
happened out there? What were you seeing? Red, are you with us?
Yes, sorry.
What were you seeing out there?
A lot of rain.
What happened to you there at the end?
Just starting to make a little bit more mistakes, and I just brushed the wall, the fence, and the engine just instantly gave up. So,
Sorry
yeah,
about
I
that, actually.
think you saw the on my end there was huge smoke coming out of the engine, and yeah, was too far to get back to the pits.
Yeah, it seems like these cars are fickle beasts sometimes, and obviously hard to keep on the road.
Yeah, and this track and the conditions combination is so it's mental. It's so hard to drive.
Especially with that H pattern shifter, getting the downshift
Yeah.
right. Heel toe.
Yeah, been using everything. We've had quite a fun battle with Tiano. Just trying to keep up with each other, I think. Doing mistakes here and there, but we're pretty close. And yeah, just a bit sad it ended before the halfway mark.
Where was Leo today? Your teammate.
That's actually a good question.
He said he was having performance issues with his track and the rain combined, that he couldn't participate for that reason. So he was having 25 FPS.
Well, what guy hasn't had performance issues? Am I right, guys?
His race is sponsored by Viagra.
Yes.
It isn't. Please pay us.
Well, him not showing up wasn't very Gucci.
Oh.
Ah, terrible. Terrible. Oh. You have to apologize for that one.
I apologize for absolutely fucking nothing.
Mark now has a 75 restricted plate penalty. You could even hear the change in the car.
We'd like to thank Salvaro for joining us in the booth. He had to go.
Yes, thank you, Savaro. Savaro.
Mark
Yes.
having a really good race, and Boris, if he can keep his nose clean, and with this kind of attrition, the Steer Vester Stall 1 team might have a winner. We still got Pedro one back.
Pedro is at 150% frustrated, but he's keeping it up.
I am most impressed with Silvaro's teammate, Paria.
Yeah, he's first prize.
Am I pronouncing that correctly? I know that
I don't think so, but I don't know how to pronounce it either.
I know in Spanish it should be Paria when you have two L's like that, but I'm also an idiot.
I was told by an Uruguayan that might be in second place right now that it was Parrilla. But
Looks like Mark has gone into the pits, and Perala in second place.
he's gonna,
Ooh,
he should get second back, I think. Parrilla.
yeah, he should, but he's just at the beginning of the track, down by the grain mill, going uphill. As Antoine goes through the start-finish straight surrounded by fans, some of the best fans in the world out in Switzerland, well dressed, dapper. They are silent from the stunning display they have going on in the rain today here in Switzerland. Antoine going down through past the mill, uphill into a short left-hander, splashing the inside puddle, going down into a heavy braking zone. Enzo,
My teammate. That's him.
yes, with the Logitech controller, much like a submarine.
Oh, it's
Go-
a keyboard.
Oh.
He's rating on keyboard.
I thought he was on a controller.
I think it's a Logitech
No, Enzo
keyboard.
is using mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Incredibly
that.
impressive.
Yeah, very impressive, especially with some of these competitive lap times he's doing. As Boris passes Enzo.
Our position, maybe.
Yeah, that was for position.
We've only got 3 cars on the lead lap with Vesa Tolinen holding on for the 1 lap back drivers. Of course, the Finn, like famous Formula 1 legend Leo Kinnunen.
Here we are with our race leader Costa going downhill on the back part of the track. A tight right-hander, just keeping it out of that wall on the left side, as Parala in second place catches oversteer very well going into Frost House. The tight right-hander right before the start-finish straight.
Mark really having a great race out there today.
Absolutely. As Tolonen spins out on a blind corner and almost catches. Yes, catches. Ooh,
Oh no!
catches poor
No.
Mark in third place. Both back
Oh, no.
facing backwards.
Oh,
Oh, an absolute
brutal.
brutal end for poor Mark, who didn't
Hopefully not stuck
realize
on that
anything
wall
better.
there.
Yeah, it looks like Tolonen has
Vesa
a
having a
little bit
great
of
race.
issues. Ugh.
No, I think he's waiting for people to pass so he doesn't take them out.
It's a smart driver, the Finns.
Absolutely.
Always great drivers.
It looks like Mark now has a 75 restrictor plate damage and is 40 seconds behind P2.
Oh, he went back to pits. So he's out. He's
Oh
out, I
no.
think.
Oof.
Vesa is done.
Man.
He was in the points, so
Yes.
Anton should get some points now. He went from last 2 points.
Trying to invite Vesa here into the broadcast booth. Vesa, are you with us?
Okay, yeah.
Tell us what happened out there. It looked really unfortunate.
Well, yeah, I lost the control of my car in the braking and crashed the wall a bit, and then I tried to continue my my race and didn't realize that someone is coming there, and we crashed. And
We were talking about you a lot this race because we know you're a rookie and you were really making your way up the field.
Yeah, it was getting quite nice, but yeah,
Becoming
it
a
happens.
race of attrition out there.
Pardon?
On the 21st lap, as Pedro almost clips his left 2 tires on that shed. We've seen a lot of drivers come close to that poor shed. None of them have had a conversation with it yet, but it looks like that might be happening in the short future as Pedro heads into Frost Garden. Now, Savara, what was your pit stop strategy for the race up until your small incident today?
Well, I was just getting on the most fuel I could get with the setup. It's almost full tank, and then I drove it quite dry and just pitted few laps before the incident, so I had a pretty good pace in that sense. I don't know if I would have need to make a two or one stop before that or after that, but
It seems
I
to
didn't have. Yeah, I didn't have that clear strategy. I just tried to
yeah.
try.
It appears to be a two-stop strategy kind of race, as Boris leaves the pits for his first pit stop in the number 7.
Yeah, the tools should be enough, but I don't know for sure. Probably it will be okay.
Yes, as Costa finish is the 21st lap, marking the halfway point of the Swiss Grand Prix here at the Revival Racing League.
Well, Visa, I was talking about you a lot during the race. I think you did a great job. You're still a rookie, and if you want to hang out here with us, we'd love to have you, but we understand if you want to go have a drink and relax.
Yeah, let's see. I can maybe a few moments be here, but
Yes.
Have you seen, do you watch, and there's no spoilers in this, but have you seen the qualifying for Formula 1 today? Are you a Formula 1 fan?
well, actually, I'm that kind of weirdo in these circles that I don't follow any real life sports at all.
Gotcha.
I did that when I was younger, but somehow I lost interest in it along the way.
Yeah, that's how my dad is. My dad was always really into sports, but he does not watch sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather do than watch a lot of people.
Vesa, I did write him as a rookie for this season, but he's got a lot of experience racing these old cars. He's even organizing his own championship in Interwar cars right now. Wanna talk about that?
Ooh, as Nozo spins out and almost takes out Boris. Sorry to interrupt.
Enzo. Let's say Enzo.
Enzo. Oh, I don't understand the European dialect.
He's American.
Oh. Well.
Enzo making sure to not get himself in any trouble or make trouble for anybody else.
Yes.
Vesa, though, I'm really interested in what Obi was asking you, or Joao. Tell us about it.
Yeah. What was it about? I forgot already.
You're organizing your own championship of Interwar cars, right? You wanna give us a brief about it?
Yeah, it's not so public yet, but it's I can say something about it. It will be quite ambitious. Try to make some different than we have used to be with these leagues, and we have about 40 cars, different cars, and on monetary system in the league also that you can and the schedule goes year by year, starting from the 2023 cars, and then year by year we proceed forward, and we have about 20 races, so it's quite a massive thing to go, and there's still a lot of things to.
Gonna be hard to organize.
Yeah, there's lots of things to do yet, but.
Vesa, do you do any in real life racing? I know I've seen a few things about the guys taking out old cars in Finland and doing some rally stuff, just casual. Do you do anything like that? Have you done anything like that?
Not really. Just a few times with the carts I tried to drive, but nothing really seriously. Just mostly sim racing guy.
No touching grass here. That's what we want.
Yes.
Anton's still in it, not giving up.
Yes,
He's in the point. He's your team, right?
Fighting Pedro Lopes. Did I
Yes.
pronounce that right? I'm pretty sure it's
Almost.
Pedro Lopes.
Well, but yeah, it's almost done.
Costa.
Oh,
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Pedro almost
Almost a bad situation.
almost
for
takes
Pedro.
out poor
Oh,
Anton.
Anton got away with it.
Yes.
he's gonna do the bat turn. Of course,
Once-
made famous by Batman.
Yes. Pedro now has a 175 restricted plate going down into Frost House.
So yeah, Vesa, your teammate had internet go off just before the race and he's in the points already. What do you think about his performance?
You mean Anton?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really fast guy and seems to be a good in a race pace also. So
As good as you were and as good as he is, you guys are gonna be a formidable team.
we'll see about that. We have to finish first.
You are finished first.
It's
So.
just saying, no pun intended.
Nah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Terrible.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. It's really nice format here.
Of course, Finland with a deep racing heritage, home to famous Formula One driver J.J. Leto.
Ooh, as Pedro.
Yeah, we have a few famous ones. Not a lot, but few.
Yeah. Quality before quantity.
Yeah, you could say so.
Nah.
Yeah.
Force really keeping
Pace.
alive. Still 3 laps down.
Yes.
When did the points, Joao, when did the points start?
They start in 5th place and start at 2 points. Then 4th place gets 3, 3rd place gets 4, 2nd place gets 6, and 1st place gets 8. And 1 point for fastest lap.
As
Enzo in the pits.
Enzo in the pits. Costa about to lap the whole field. The only person he has not lapped is Pirella.
Costa, of course, a huge Lewis Hamilton fan.
Pirella locking up into Frost Garden.
Wait, I'm being told by the producer Costa does not like Lewis Hamilton. I apologize.
Yeah, who
I
does?
didn't say anything.
No one does.
Oh my god. Some people are.
I'm being hyperbolic here.
My favorite shape.
That's the
Yeah,
shape
it would-
of people in America, speaking of which, heading to Indianapolis.
I think Enzo's just
Next
taking
year.
a break. He's like, well, now we just wait for people to retire and then I take the position.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got teammate on teammate action here.
As Costa overtakes going into Frost House.
Obviously,
Nice,
a lot of
Enzo.
respect there by Costa to let his teammate go past.
Join us in 2 weeks on the 5th of August for the Indianapolis 500.
Oh, I have to ask, Vesa, you did
Yeah.
some Indy 500, vintage Indy 500s before in your own league, right? In Project Cars 2, so are you looking forward to the full Indy 500? Or are you gonna run away like most of the people seem to be afraid of it?
Yeah, of course. I'm really into it. Looking forward to it. I like the longer races somehow. They are more interesting and challenging than the shorter ones.
They've got more, it's more like a story rather than just a quick burst of action.
Yeah, exactly. It has some. You need to think about the strategy and have a consistency and all
Of course,
kind
the first Indy 500 won by the Marmon Wasp car. As everybody
Wait, which one?
knows. The Marmon Wasp. That was the car
What
that won the
year?
first Indy 500.
Oh, in 1911, right?
It was a long time ago. I'm not an almanac, so I don't remember.
You live in there, so you should know.
The only reason I know it's a Marmon Wasp is because there's a statue of the Marmon Wasp on the way to my dad's house.
What's the Marmon Wasp?
It was the first car that won the Indy 500.
Oh.
Oh,
Ooh, second
Korea.
place. Okay, we're getting the names, all kinds of.
Oh, you got restricted, or did you already have it?
No, he did not have that restrictor. I think he. Yeah,
That's
he.
the lowest, right? Is that the lowest? 25?
Yeah, that's. Well, the lowest is 0, which the only driver to have 0 now is.
Okay, technically correct.
Yeah, Boris is the
Boris.
last driver on 0. Although, not even sure if he should be in the race, considering he wasn't there in the start.
He's got his work cut out for him being 3 laps down.
Yeah, he.
If he gets up there, he earned it.
He did.
Yeah, that's true.
3 laps is no joke.
And I'm just so frustrated. I was driving so well, and one slight misshift, and it's over.
Yeah, it's one of the most impressive things about the guys who are doing the manual transmission in VR. Is I've tried these cars, and it's so easy to miss a shift because you obviously can't see what you're doing.
Yeah, I want to try one of these races in VR for the immersion, but I am a bit paranoid that I'm gonna, like, something needs to be fixed, and I'm in VR is gonna be a pain in the ass to, you know, juggle between VR and anything that happens. So
I'm really impressed with Prix.
yeah,
Absolutely, for a rookie, he's in second
And he's-
place. He's kept his nose
not-
clean.
not just a rookie this season. That is his first race in this league.
That's unbelievable.
And I remember when I drove these cars for the first time, I couldn't even get them around the dry track. That was Silverstone, that was way easier than this one, and this one is much more difficult track in the way.
And as we've mentioned, he is a Tifosi from Argentina who is an architect, and he is building a wonderful race for himself today, guys.
He is. He
And
Probably
doing
the
this
most
all with a
impressive,
G29.
yeah, I mean, any wheel can do it, I guess, as long as it has force feedback. Costa having obviously the best race, but
That's a lot of work in. I mean, he makes it look easy, but every time I look in the Revivo Racing League server, he seems like he's always in there putting in laps.
he is put the most effort. He also, it's not just about how much effort, but you know, how well are you, like if you spend 50 minutes practicing, how what the quality of the practice is, if you're just doing the same thing and not improving, or if you're looking for new things to, you know,
Oh,
to
yeah.
improve your performance. That's what I notice him. He is very good at using his time to improve quickly, and that's a very important skill.
This is Costa is followed behind with Boris. Apologies. Following behind, going up towards the start-finish straight, starting the 27th lap of the Switzerland Grand Prix. Parala catches some oversteer from putting too much power down on this wet tarmac, catches it well, and keeps going strong all the way down towards a technical S's of the track. Ooh, it looks like they're out of control, but somehow they're just wrangling this Italian bull.
On the edge of adhesion.
Yes. As Mark with a heavy restrictor plate penalty now heads towards, as Anton in the Ferrari 375 crashes out heading towards the exit.
There's an even bigger penalty. Wait,
Trigger
how
not.
did Anton overtake Pedro? I didn't see that one. Oh,
Petra must have had a small accident now with a 200 restricted plate penalty, highest in the race right now.
You're a little over 60% race distance.
yeah. So, Anton is. Can we check the lap times? Is Anton catching? Let me see.
I don't know where the lap times are.
I'm gonna check.
Anton, of course, from France. He grew up bilingual. He also speaks German, but of course he can't speak German in France because he'll get his head cut off.
Absolutely, not rightfully so.
Oh, Anton's best lap is a 37.9. That's incredible.
2:37.9.
Yeah,
Man,
but I don't think he can do that anymore with the amount of restriction he's got.
So it's all hold it together, buddy.
hold it together.
Come on, Enzo. you can
Impressive
get some
driving
points,
for a
bro.
mouse and keyboard. I can't get over it.
Yeah. Well, mouse and keyboard in the rain gets a bit of traction control. Is a bit of a secret, but you can turn it off. So, but it's not enough of an advantage. So, a wheel is still better, but you do get some traction control in the rain on keyboard.
Oh, the Assetto Corsa, the simulator lets you turn on traction control with the mouse key.
It's just like. No, it's not exactly traction control. It just like modulates the throttle pedal for you. So
Anton.
it doesn't let you over.
Pressure. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Anton is driving quite a bit faster than Mark. Question is, can he catch him? He's a minute 50 behind him. And he's got 25% more restrictor than Mark. And he's got how many laps? 22 laps to catch him? Wait, I can't quite see the number. Oh no, less than that. Yeah, 18 laps I think to catch him.
Great driving.
No, the quality in the stream is very good.
Yes.
Problem is that you can't
Very
use it.
bad, right?
No, it's good. The problem is you can't use it because it's such a lot. You gotta use the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean the stream we're on right now in the broadcast booth is looks like I'm playing on the original Nintendo, which of course was released in 1986.
It was 5, right? I'm
At least
I'm
86
correct.
in the States. Looks like Josh is back in the chat. You guys
Yeah.
want to invite him in? I'll be right back.
8. Looks
I'm asking. Just said no.
yes. Josh has declined an interview.
He was frustrated with the race, but
Mhm.
it happened.
Yes. Mhm. Perala? Absolutely, yeah. It's almost like a rally car driver. Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Number 42 of Anton, and huh. Let me check OBS again. OBS is having lots of problems. Oh, you were muted. Not muted on Discord, muted on OBS. Huh.
Me?
Yeah, or just all of the desktop audio. It mutes itself. I don't know why.
But I turned the stream on and I could hear people.
Sorry, I'm back. My wife's trying to get pregnant.
Can you stop sleeping? You can crack the joke like.
Was Josh
twice.
trying to? Was he able to join us?
No, he doesn't want to.
Oh, and it looks like Enzo has an engine failure of some sorts.
Oh no.
No. His engine's...
Maybe he's saving fuel.
It
What
could
is it?
be, yeah. Morris
No.
and Pedro battling in Frost House. Going up.
Shame. What happened? Did we have technical difficulties with Josh? Oh, you
Yeah.
said he didn't want to talk. That's great.
Yeah,
Of course, Josh from the United Kingdom, home to famous Formula One drivers like Jolyon Palmer and Max Chilton. Oh wow, Costa really hard at the brakes there.
Keeping it together well, though, even with the 25 restrictive weight damage.
Really is an incredible driver. I mean, a race like this, the attrition, not to make a mistake, to pull out a gap like that. I mean, this is incredibly impressive.
A gap of almost a whole lap.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing. It's one thing to pull out a whole lap and be consistent, but to pull that much of a time gap every single lap is just. I can't say it's unbelievable. I'm watching it happen.
And keep it inside the 2 white lines.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's the worst mistake we've seen? What's the worst mistake we've seen from Costa? I haven't really seen too much. Have you seen any spins? Did I miss
No,
No.
he had an accident, but we didn't see it. Parillo just hit the wall, but he got away with it. No damage. No restricted.
I think the most disappointing thing about this race, and it's going to happen, is Anton having some sort of issue at the beginning of the race because he just looks so fast.
He might have been ahead of Parillo. Probably would be.
And Pedro goes into the pits.
Well, I don't know, because Parillo has made much less mistakes than Anton, so. But he would be in the podium, that's for sure.
What a race of attrition. What are the most numbers of what are the fewest numbers of finishers in these Formula One season last season?
In a championship race, I think it was Belgium, because most people didn't really practice, a few did, and lots of people wanted to do the Belgium Grand Prix without practice, and the old school track, you can't do that. It's just sending it through the forest at high speed. So it took about 5 laps for most of the field to be out. And
Is that the one I think I tested that one, the original Spa?
Yes, you drove that one, yes.
Oh god, it's so high speed, and if you don't know, you have to go through so many of those turns at high speed, and if you don't know the line, you're gonna hit the wall really hard.
Yeah, that's what happened basically. A lot of people were out on lap 1, and a lot of other people were out in the laps to follow.
And I missed it. How many people finished the race?
I believe it was. I'm gonna check because it was very little.
Showing Costa is a lap down right now. I know that's not right, but
It's probably some error in the UI of that app,
yeah.
but what
We'd
counts
like to
is the
thank
sub.
Vesa, who's thanking us here in the chat. He says, thanks for the show, guys. And he says he's sorry to whoever he took out. We think he drove a great race.
Yeah,
And as a rookie, he's going to learn a lot from this. And he's going to come back really strong. He's got a strong team.
So I'm trying to find it.
I think his team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. After watching him drive and knowing how good Anton is.
So I believe so. Um, 5 people finished, I believe. Yeah, the Belgian Grand Prix. Yep.
Hirano saying he wasn't prepared for the race to set up the full race distances, the restrictor plates, and the broadcasting interview. But we think he did a great job.
Yes.
Obviously a rookie, and
But
he's going to
did-
come back strong.
Yeah, and even with even with all that what he claims to be unpreparedness, he still came ahead of the race organizer. Sorry,
Yes, he did.
Xiao.
Ah,
that absolute mid driver. I say
Yeah.
as if I can drive these. I can't. That's why I talk about them.
And of course he's from Portugal, famous Formula One driver Pedro Chaves.
Yes. From
You
the country
managed-
responsible for Brazil.
you have a talent for actually picking the most obscure driver of each country. It's actually good. Well, it's not true. Gigi Leto wasn't that obscure. But you have a talent for them.
Enzo's down to an absolute crawl, assuming it's from that 175 restricted plate. Pedro has a 225 restricted plate, once again still the highest in the league.
Horse is not giving up. I think
Pirella
his team has my favorite liveries.
built a small gap.
He's hanging in there. I think I asked you before, Joel. What was the reason Boris didn't join earlier? Does he know?
Oh
Or
yeah.
do you know?
His pedal apparently broke during practice, and somehow he fixed it.
I don't know.
Probably disassembled itself or something.
Well, he's German. He could figure it out.
I wonder how he fixed it, because it looked pretty bad
As Mike
from what he was
goes
saying.
into the pits.
Right now, the points position is Pedro, Anton, Mark, Parrinha, and Costa.
7 drivers left in this race. Of course, once in P13 has brought himself all the way back up to P6.
Of course, Boris's country of Germany, famous for F1 drivers like Ralf Schumacher.
Absolutely. thank everyone watching for joining us here on the first race of the season, and of course a busy weekend for everyone as Barbenheimer has hit theaters across the world.
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer?
Barbenheimer, yes, the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer,
I saw that meme.
two of the most anticipated movies. I'm quite excited myself for Oppenheimer and Barbie movie. I have to find someone to go with, I believe. But Oppenheimer, I'm going shortly after.
So, what is the gap between the drivers? Is okay. So Anton isn't really catching Mark, as it seems. He's still in around 2 minutes behind him. Oh no, it's changing a lot. Actually, might be catching him. I don't. The number varies wildly, so it's hard to know what the real number is. It goes from 2 minutes to 1 minute 15. Now, let's see. So
Really impressive outing for Korea.
Ooh, as Enzo is in the bushes once again, stalking your mom.
okay,
That-
Anton is 23 seconds behind Mark.
Korea, an avid photography nerd, and he is painting a beautiful picture here.
Anton could get a podium, I think. He is only 23 seconds behind Mark and catching. From starting dead last, a lap down.
The egg might.
Le egg. That would be maybe his greatest performance in this league. He's not a rookie, but it's still impressive. If he can manage that. A podium from last place. From a lap down.
And there goes.
He has never won a race, although he has gotten, I think, he's finished within a second of a race win. Also in the wet, he's just really good in the wet. A wet weather specialist. We've only had one race in the wet before this one. It was at Goodwood, and Josh Brooks won that one, but he hasn't had he hasn't had that performance today with crashing out of the race.
When Costa almost crashes into the wall, that was just understeers from a small break to lock up in Frost Garden or Frost House. Apologies.
It seems like that's the thing with Costa is when other people make big mistakes, they seem to hit walls, and other people, when he makes mistakes, he still keeps it in between the white lines.
Yeah, he's just when he makes a small mistake or even a big mistake, it seems like the only consequence is he's slightly embarrassed. There's the crowd watching the camera.
Yeah, he makes much less mistakes. Everyone else makes that mistake, you don't even mention it because it's so frequent.
The biggest mistake everybody else makes is racing against him.
Yes. Ferralla now the only one on the same lead lap as Costa. Sponsored by Esso Oil, of course. There
Can we
goes
say-
Lena.
The top 4 is 4 different cars in the top 4, so no one can complain that I did a bad job with the balance.
Absolutely.
Only 8 laps left, guys. That what? Not very far to go. Tough race for these guys.
It's. How do you guys feel? Did it fly by or is it dragging on? It's been a good race, I think.
I'm doing fine. We've got a gin and tonic.
Yes. I gotta.
Unfortunately, we'll work out the kinks, but here in the broadcast booth, I can't really see I can make out the cars, but we're gonna
Yes.
work out the kinks, and we'll be back.
And the cameras have a mind of their own. I can't control
It's
them.
1951.
Open the auto cam app.
In here.
Yeah.
Auto cam. Yeah.
Is it on or off? What does it say? Where is it?
App from AutoCam. Ugh.
No, just open it in the game. Make it appear. Should be there somewhere.
I don't see it. Oh.
It might be behind
Oh.
something.
Yeah.
Korea, man,
Is it on?
He's still
or
going strong, just like his G29.
Turn it off.
There we go.
Yeah. Now you have control.
Okay. Well, I wish I was smart enough to figure it out a while ago.
I still can't make out what's going on, but
Well, it is an auto race. That's why we're here.
We went racing.
It was a motor race.
we
It's a motor race. We went racing. Well, I did. Oh my god, I'm so frustrated. It could have been an easy point.
I'm frustrated that I didn't have the camera for so long. Okay.
I
Right.
cannot see what's going. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Oof. Is that the tightest corner, or is the last corner the tightest?
The last one is the tightest, I believe.
Yeah. I have a small track map pulled up for me.
Wait. Are you streaming the screen or Assetto Corsa?
I'm streaming.
He's streaming the screen because I can't. His internet connection
No,
or
I mean
something
to
is
the-
so bad.
To OBS, I'm streaming Assetto Corsa.
Well, I just saw your.
What?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's
Right.
streaming his
My
the
brain
desktop.
turned off for a second. Shit.
Look at that car control by Costa, just perfectly clipping the apex. Perfectly clipping the apex.
You
And I
guys
hope that he's using that 8 shifter that you sent him.
He is not.
If he, he
not?
really needs to, because if he can do that, he's a legend.
Yeah, he needs to win a race in that.
Is he using a
in
paddle?
championship race. He is using paddles. Yeah.
That should be banned.
I agree. If he
He's
was
too
enforceable.
good to he's too good to be using paddles.
Oh, it's using all of the track and then some.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's gorgeous.
I
He
I
just needs
just
to be using.
lost the race because I
Feature.
used paddles like a man.
Because he used, yeah.
When I was
And then
testing, I blew the
shifted,
engine
yeah.
so many times because of the 8 shifter from missing, especially a 4th to 5th shift, because I would go into 3rd on accident in VR.
Gotta have a dog leg.
Costa, if you're watching this, you're too good. You gotta use an 8 shifter, man.
Yeah, these cars have 5 gears. You can totally do a lot dog leg even with the only 6 gears.
Costa is about to lap Paralia. Parabolica. What are some of it? Parabola. Thinking of all these.
Parabolica.
Thinking of goofy names, because Europeans are goofy.
So,
He's from Argentina.
Walking up
yes.
into the right-hander, going on downhill, right on past the grain mill, uphill into a long sweeping left-hander, up into a braking zone, from 3rd into 2nd, all the way down, I think, into 1st. No, he leaves it in 2nd, gets on the power, trying to keep it from spinning, up into 3rd, catches the oversteer from letting the clutch out, up into 4th, downhill, clips the wall just barely, hits his tires on the grass, down into 3rd, downshift, brake into a left-hander, then into a long sweeping right-hander, downhill into a tight braking zone, followed by a shallow corner in 2nd gear, going up into 3rd, braking at the 50-meter board, down into 2nd, using all of the road on exit, into 3rd, uphill now, following Heralia past the marshal stand that kind of looked like deer hunting stands here on this Swiss racetrack. As Pirala crashes up ahead,
Oh my goodness.
oh my gosh, everyone, the
A
world,
huge mistake from the Argentinian driver. Of course,
Absolutely.
Argentina famous for the F1
invasion.
driver Oscar Alfredo Galvez.
Oh, I was thinking of the
That's the name of the circuit.
huh?
The Argentinian Grand Prix is in that.
He was around in 1953. He had one start, 2 career points, and unfortunately, that was it.
Yeah. No one knows any other Argentinian driver. That was the best one they've ever had.
That's the only one that came to mind. I'm sure there are more.
Yeah. Faster Maldonado, maybe.
I don't know if you guys know this, but he had an incredible mustache. I'm a huge fan. I'm gonna put that picture in the Discord server now.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go back and look, it's in there.
A rather unknown. I'll pull that up on stream. A rather unknown fact about 1950s F1 drivers is they did not have wings at the time, so actually the downforce was entirely generated by a handlebar mustache.
Or
If you look at his mustache, it does look like a front wing of a modern Formula
Yes.
1 car. Unfortunately, Brant, we cannot see the race happening right now.
You can't, but they can.
Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna go in there, see how the race is going for the drivers that are in.
Okay.
Costa on his own on the lead lap. Rhea hanging on as a rookie in his first official race. An incredible showing for the Scuderia Atlantic. It's the Ferrari 125, the Alfa Romeo 158, the BRM Type 15. We've got 3 different cars in the top 3 right now.
Yes.
And of course, the Ferrari 375 in 4th. How could I forget?
And now I am pulling up the photo of the famous mustache we are talking about on stream. Dick, you will not be able to see it on your side in the broadcast booth as Costa reverses once again on his 37th lap. Iralia follows shortly after, now lapped.
A short 5 laps.
Absolutely.
What could possibly happen in 5 laps? We've seen it all today.
Check in with Forrest. We haven't looked at him in a while. Oh, he must have had some incident. He now has a 50 restrictor penalty.
He's in for the
He
pits.
is in for the pits, him and Lena. As Mark with Erica drives on by.
Boris, of course, a former Mercedes test driver and ex-convict.
Yes. No other ex-convicts ever in this fleet, of course. As Boris almost hits the wall, slides all the way to the edge of the track, hammering on down the straight here with Pedro. As Costa leads the race right right behind
The mental
Mark.
exhaustion from these guys with a few laps left with so many. I mean, you've seen so much talent today and so many mistakes that ended up in DNFs, and yet you've got these guys who just make it look so easy.
And with Mark in his rearview mirror watching watching Costa pass on track. Once again lapping Mark to be 2 laps behind. 4 laps remain here at the inaugural 1951 season of Formula One.
And just to make things more realistic, I am currently watching a video that looks like it was filmed in 1951. Of course, the Uruguayan symbol on the side of Mark's car.
I'm not gonna say it. I can't.
I've never been to Uruguay, but
Uruguay.
from their symbol, I think it's probably sunny there.
Is it? Might be like England. Well, one place it's not sunny is Switzerland. It's raining, it's pouring here. But Costa does not let that define him. Heading on down, finishing up his 38th lap. 49 lap tracks. What am I saying?
Of course, Costa is in the Ferrari 125, which is, as we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, very oversteery and requires a lot of throttle control.
Small
and it was
battle.
designed.
We have a battle for position right now here with Mark and Puralia.
What a great race from both of these guys.
Puralia in the Alfa Romeo, absolutely dominating this track and the lower track. I'm sorry, this is not the position. Mark appears to be 1 lap behind.
And look at that facial expression. No stress. All calm.
Not even blinking.
Not even blinking. It's incredible.
A perfect haircut. Nothing to distract him. A bit of a sultry mustache, but he can let that go due to his incredible driving.
The man's got a helmet on his head and a helmet in his pants, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. He almost looks like Max Verstappen.
No fear.
Oh yeah, now with a 75% restricted weight. Costa only with 25.
We'd like to thank all the drivers who came to talk to us after the race. We know some of those finishes have been pretty tough, unfortunately. But we really appreciate the time to talk to us.
Absolutely.
We're on 39, if I read that correctly. Unfortunately, it's difficult to see. Of 42. 3 short laps, really 2.5.
As Costa comes down towards Frost House.
Being very cautious. Yeah, being very cautious.
No need to make many trades with the devil right now at this point in the race. He has an entire lap banked away.
It seems like he almost drives with both feet and mixes them together, because I see times where you see a lot of smoke coming from his tires, but it looks like he's accelerating out of the turn, so it looks like he does a lot of blending, but I'm not sure.
Getting drenched in rain from these tires, cutting through the water, preventing hydroplaning as he cuts cuts on the middle of the apex, comes down right to the edge of the grass. No curb on this old track. Coming up through Esso curves into a heavy braking zone. Sliding all over the place. Downhill a little backwards, Eau Rouge almost. Into a braking zone, brake at the 50-meter mark. Right hand corner. Get on the power as soon as you can. Third gear all the way up into the next braking zone. Brake at 75. Into second gear. 6,000 RPM. Get on the throttle as soon as you can. Up into third. Up into fourth. Hopefully all the way up into fifth before the next braking zone. And right there into fifth. Coming up now into a uphill, insightful almost braking zone. Right-hander. He hits a fence. Oh my goodness. Costa has been
that could have
caught.
been awful
Yeah,
if he had a race ending. Oh, can you imagine? Not that I would wish that on you, Costa, but can you imagine what would happen if his car? Oh.
Yes, commentator's curse, I feel. He now has a 50 restricted plate. 25 from a previous incident.
We'd invite Joao back into the chat here with us because he has such great insights. Joao, are you with us?
Yeah. Sounds like your mic is might be a little bit muffled. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Everything's working
right. I know you're with Ted Kravitz down in the pit lane. Have you gathered any information about the race?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, there's nothing going on. It is a bit of a dead part. Anton is asking Mark to slow down. Mark and his teammates seem to not get on very well because Mark was complaining that Boris didn't tell him that he was gonna pass him.
Oh no.
It was funny. Other than that, there's not much going on.
Well, there's a lot going on. I'm watching these guys try to guide their cars through these turns, which is absolutely incredible. Not to be contradictory, but I can't help but be impressed that these guys have gone this long. And I'm not sure, how many hours are we on right now? Do you guys have a feel for the time?
We are at 107 minutes. About an hour and a half on the 30.
It's such a long time to deal with this beast of a course.
Especially with this weather and first race, these drivers aren't exactly used to their cars. We're on board with Barala now, going into the backstretch, brake at the 50, with ever so close to that infamous concrete barrier that Silvaro hit earlier on in the race. It's not nearly as good car control as Costa, but still absolutely wonderful.
Oh,
Incredible from the rookie. Incredible.
we're almost in the last lap, 41 over 42.
Yeah, this is the penultimate, as they say.
So this
You can fly by.
is gonna
This
be
is a
the
rookie.
shortest race of the season, I think.
Can we talk about how incredible it is that a rookie is constructing one of the most amazing second places I can imagine? I mean,
Yeah.
I knew he's an architect and a designer, but this is probably better than anything he's ever constructed.
Well, if this is first race, we have to wonder if he's gonna be in contention, right?
Well, he's in contention right now, but yeah, for obviously what you mean, I imagine, is to fight Costa.
Well, Costa, I think we have to put it on hold on that because that is a very high tier, but.
Barala goes heavy
Oh
into
no!
Frost
Don't
House.
do it to me! Don't do it to me!
Andres.
No! Okay, he's still good.
Oof. You gotta pay attention to the yellow flags.
Backwards.
You got this, Priya. You got this, buddy.
100.
He's back on the road.
plate. He's back on the road.
Mark. Yeah.
On the
Mark
last
didn't
lap.
get anything from that.
Yeah. Costa.
Did you lose position?
It does not look like it, no.
Right, he's a lap. I saw him. Yeah, he just unlapped himself, Mark, with that one. So.
Costa on
Algarve
his-
is doing a great job. Algarve as a team, I mean, that's just
Yes, they're both in the points.
both in the points.
Costa has just started his final lap. We're on board with him now. You can see the amount of steering input that's required on this car, especially with this driver. It's just on another world. Going ever so close to that wall, ever so close to that fence. Heavy on downhill almost into a braking zone that is also a corner. Downhill once again. Barriers on either side surrounded by amazing fans into a heavy braking zone. Right-hander, catch the oversteer right there. Up now into third gear. 8,000 RPM of Italian goodness down into second. Turn in, keep it tidy, let it stick, and get on the power. Not too early, you don't want to get the rear end loose on you. Up into fourth gear. This car has fifth gears out of all of them, goes up into fifth. Top gear now into the back straight of the final lap. This is a corner that on the last lap he had a small little conversation with the fence on, but makes it through without a hitch. That's Chat back in with Durala on his final lap now. In second place, the rookie from Argentina.
It looks like we might have lost Brant. His mic might be going out, but
My mic. Oh, I got it.
oh, here he is. He's back.
Hello.
Good to have you back, Brant.
I was just yelling. Did I do that to myself?
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, you're
look,
fine.
we're it's just so impressive to watch these two drivers, all these drivers really, but to see the first two just keep their nose clean so much, and I can't say enough about Korea is to be a rookie and to keep your nose clean and to finish what has been a long race.
As we watch Costa come up to the start-finish line on his final lap, the 42nd lap of the first race of the season here at Switzerland. Costa comes in the P1, leading off his hopefully second championship to a great start. Let's check back in with Paralia, just out of Frost House, coming on down. Hopefully he's able to keep it tidy up until the end of the line, slamming down on the gas, keeping it straight, keeping it between the two white lines, and he makes it through in second place on his first ever race of this series. Mark coming on down across the line in third place. There is our podium with Costa, Paralia, and Mark. Coming in fourth is Exa in Le Egg.
That's a great finish.
Absolutely.
For Sylvester Stallone.
Anton just absolutely hammering it down these back straights, back corners, whatever you'd like to call in the back stretch of this track, braking heavily up into Frost House, a tight right-hander all the way down into first gear. Catch the oversteer, guide it through on this cobblestone road. As Pedro follow shortly thereafter.
After so many challenges, for Anton to finish fourth is just incredible.
Ooh, and Pedro has a small conversation with the wall, but carries on well. Boris in P6. Oh, Anton!
Oh, no!
It's the
Is that after the race?
Yeah,
Is
that's
he
after the
already
race. That's after the race. Pedro
Yeah,
coming on down, hammering down.
Algarve Motorsports. Man, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
But I still Algarve, Sylvester, Erste.
Stay.
My apologies. Korea.
Maria, yes.
Salvaro made just a tiny. I think we're gonna have a great season this season.
Absolutely. I think we have a great title contention in the works these next couple of weeks.
We've just got to figure out a way to close up on.
Absolutely. As Pedro crosses the line in 5th, let's check in with Boris. Actually, Boris appears. I don't know where Boris is.
Boris?
He did not seem to finish. I don't know. He already did finish.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to see the monitor because of the pixelation. But I would hope that Boris. I mean, maybe he knows that he's 4 laps down. Can't imagine what happened to him. But it's still probably a good showing. I mean, Mark had a great finishing spot. Boris appears to be in 6th. You got a good distribution here. And can we talk about Enzo? Enzo using a mouse and keyboard is 7th?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And keeping it somewhat tidy all the way up into the finish. Some other drivers, not to place any blame on them, but
let's see if we can pull. It looks like Costa has left. Let's see if I can pull.
He's
Costa in here. Where did he go?
He's off to his yacht. Yes,
we're trying to, Joe. We're trying to find. We're trying to find Costa. He's not
Costa is
available.
down there in the deep ends.
Huh?
In his own team. You can't see him, but you can interview Mark. I think he was willing.
All right, Costa and Paralia went to
Mark
their
on the line
yacht.
here.
Yeah, they went to their yachts, except for Mark. Mark, tell us about your race. Congratulations on the podium, of course. Fantastic drive from you today. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it was a tough one. That I can say.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy at all. I really love this track. I'm really comfortable on it, but the rain, man, it just changes everything.
Absolutely. I can imagine, especially with these small tires.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
They don't have a lot of footprint, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like was the most crucial thing out there?
The most crucial thing was not fucking up, basically. if you went off track and you started crashing and getting restrictor plated, you were out. I mean, I did it myself, and that by the end of it, Anton, with his great driving, because he joined late, and he ended up 4th. He was catching up to me. If the race was a little bit longer, he would have overtaken me. I'm sure of it.
Anton qualified 2nd, but he had some issue at the beginning of the race and had to join laps later, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Absolute.
He punted his Ethernet cable trying to turn off the lights.
Well, you drove a fantastic race.
Thank you very
Drove
much.
a fantastic race, and Boris obviously had issues himself, but both of you seem to finish higher up the grid. A lot of these other drivers struggled with DNFs, but you guys really pulled ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried my best not to break the car that much. I had a few shunts of myself. I ended up driving with 125% restrictor plate, which was very annoying because I couldn't use 5th gear. I was only able to upshift up to 4th, and it made the car really slow. Also, I made a mistake with the pit stop, and the last pit stop that should have been for 6 liters was for a full tank. So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. We've seen from you, and I know your experience, but we watched, and I'm sure you'll see it back. There's so many good rookies now, and I think there's going to be a lot of competition. And just to see you finish, I mean, there was so much attrition during the race. It's just it's so impressive.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really impressed with Parisha. I don't know if you talked with him or anything. I didn't have the opportunity to talk with him. I would like to congratulate him because that was a great drive.
And Salvaro, Maria. There were so many great.
We have Leo, a Brazilian driver that couldn't make it today. He's really fast too.
Yeah. Rex did okay.
Yeah.
Rex, you know, he started from the back, but he had made his way up a little bit before things went wrong. I mean, a lot of promising rookies.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
this
who's
league.
Rex?
I mean, I think he means red.
Red,
Oh, red.
red tea.
Did I say Lex? Yeah, red on the Leo Meguchi team.
Now,
Yeah, right.
Now, coming in third, of course, get your first podium of the year, the only podium of the year, up there with Costa in P1. Do you think you're gonna? Bit of a loaded question. You think you're gonna have a chance of contending for the title with Costa, and along with the other drivers?
Not with Costa. I'm going to be straight ahead with you. Costa. Costa is so damn alien. Like, it's so fast and so consistent. I honestly would be really surprised anybody could match him.
Yeah.
I mean, Parrilla, if this is his first race, but
Yes.
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
you
but
can't
still,
assume
if you look
things.
at the pace, even though
Well,
Yes.
it's not quite there.
Costa didn't do this in his first race, but yeah,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think Costa is now ready for an interview.
Well, thank you very much, guys. See you
Yes,
later. Have a good one.
Thank you, and congrats on the podium.
Our Uruguayan driver, of course, famous Uruguayan driver's idol, Cantoni, legend.
Who? If you talk to me about Conchi Rodriguez, we can talk. But that man, I have no idea who he is.
Oh, I told Cantoni he entered 3 races in 1952 in British, where he failed to finish, but he's an amazing racer. Thank
Well,
you
I'm
very
glad
much for your
you didn't know
time.
about it. Thank you, guys. See you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, pull him in.
Costa, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
We were talking about you the whole race. You were doing fantastic. How do you feel about things?
Pretty happy with the result. Happy that I didn't blow my engine in the last laps.
Yeah, we saw a
Yeah.
little bit of a mistake there at the end. I imagine that worried you a bit.
Yeah, it's always everything goes in slow motion when you're going straight into the barrier. Yeah, gladly I'm alive, and yeah, a painful race for the wrists and my hands, but everything worked out in the end.
Now, did you use your H pattern shifter today, or are you still working up to that?
No, I'm still on the pedals.
It's still an incredible drive. Every time we switch to you, it just make it look so easy.
Yes, and you don't leave an inch of the track up for grabs. You use everything available to you. You're really getting your money's worth with your entry fee.
Yeah, I always, yeah, the track it's free time if you use it all, so I might as well use it.
Absolutely.
Your teammate did pretty well. You guys look competitive. I know Mark was up there. Boris was up there. Unfortunately, Boris had some issues getting started, but there was a lot of good runs from rookies. I think this season is going to be fantastic. Hopefully, at some point, somebody can give you a little bit of a worry. But yeah, we loved watching you drive, and congratulations on the win.
Thanks a lot. I think as well that there are some promising drivers that join this season, and hopefully even better drivers will come on in the future. And yeah, great start.
Anything else you want to say? Congratulations on the win, man.
Yeah, I'm happy, and yeah, I'm just tired. My brain doesn't work anymore.
Understandable after that.
Congratulations to everyone who survived till the end, and to the others, good luck next time.
Absolutely.
Awesome watching you drive, man. I hope you have a great night. Thank you very much for joining us, and
Yes.
take care.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Congrats on the win, man.
Yeah. Well, and of course,
All right, guys.
yeah, in 2 weeks on August 5th, we have the Indy 500 in America. Me and Dick's home track of Indiana.
It's true. It's true. Hopefully, I can be there. I'm not sure if I'll be in town, but we'll find out. I think that Costa he's gonna be tough to deal with again this year.
Yeah, but I think
But,
Perala could maybe take a knife to the title this year.
A lot of Portuguese drivers this year. It's gonna be. I mean, I don't know how much you guys know about Portuguese F1 drivers, but Casimiro de Oliveira, a legend, and yeah. I mean, I can't stop talking enough about how good this race was.
Absolutely. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope you join us at the next race in Indy. Anna, have a
That's
wonderful.
Dick Kona signing out. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Good night.